on the last 6, you are allowed to use whatever method you want to solve those. So we know how to factor, we know how to solve by square rooting, we know how to solve by completing the square and the quadratic formula. You can use any of those down here. If you really like the quadratic formula and you want to use that, you can use that every time. I will tell you that number 19 can be solved by square rooting, number 20 can be solved by factoring, so forth. So if you recognize those things, then go for it. Okay, let me see if I can find one that's going to result in a decimal. Aha, found a winner. Okay, let's do number 2. I'm going to do number 2 for you because this one's not going to be so neat of an answer. Okay, we're going to get a non-perfect square here. Okay, so opposite of b, which is going to be positive 1, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all over 2 times 3. Okay? So I'm simplifying what's underneath my radical first. Negative 1 squared is 1 minus, okay, 4 times 3 times negative 16 is negative 192. And that's all over 6. Again, be careful of your negatives. So this is 1 plus 192, which is 193, which is not a perfect square. So you go ahead and square root this. So that's the next step. And you're going to get a decimal, and we need to round to 2 decimal places. So square root of 193, rounded to 2 decimal places, is 13.89. Do the same thing. We split this up. We have 2 new equations, 1 plus 13.89 over 6, and 1 minus 13.89 over 6. Use your calculator at this point, okay? I want decimal answers, okay? So it's going to be 1 plus 13.89 and 1 minus. And here's how you want to enter it in your calculator. You want to do 1 plus 13.89, press enter, and then divide it by 6. You don't want to, I'm not sure, the blue calculators can be sketchy sometimes in terms of order of operations. So to make sure that it doesn't give you the incorrect answer, do 1 plus this, press enter, and then divide your answer by 6. Because if you put it all in at once, if you do 1 plus that divided by 6, if it's following order of operations, it will divide those 2 things first, which you don't want. You need to add those 2 things together. So this answer is 2.48, and 1 minus 13.89 divided by 6 is a negative 2.15 if we round. Okay? So that's how you do decimals. If you get a non-perfect square under this radical, which you will plenty of times, you're going to square root it, round to 2 decimal places, and you still follow the same steps, but your final answers will be in decimal form. Okay? Okay, and even though this is just one worksheet, it will be worth 20 points because these are a lot of work. So you'll get more points for your work. All right, so go ahead and work on this for the rest of the hour. Taylor, do you have a pass or something?
Yeah.
Yes?